Okay, we're working on the quarter panel. Here it is. I'm cutting this up now. Obviously, I'm thinking maybe welding this in here or doing it. I'm not sure if I want to do the whole thing or weld in exactly what I need. I have the used part, obviously. So since this is just, I mean, this isn't that bad. I'm gonna take off this rocker panel. Right, drop the rocker panel, this thing out of here. Obviously, I'm going to put the wheel on so I can get this off of here because this is going to be in the way. Take the plastic off, then do the whole section, which starts back here and works its way. Where are we? Over here. Okay. Obviously, I'm going to have to remove all this. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like cut this out, you know, obviously drill through the spot welds, get this thing out of here, get this thing along this line here. This is all spot welds, get these out. And I'm thinking maybe straight across here and like this and in and weld this in. I'm thinking I'm just going to weld this aluminum nicely, weld it in, grind it down smooth. Everything will be flush and like new. Otherwise, the other way to do it right is to keep going and remove this entire panel, which honestly, I don't know if it isn't easier to just weld this in, especially if I cut it along this line here is what I'm thinking. If I cut up in here, all the way down through here, and do the same thing on the used part, the exact same spot, and then line this thing up, put the spot welds back in, weld this way, weld it up in here from underneath, weld it up in here, right? I think that might be the best way to go about this. That's my game plan for now. It might change. If I start cutting up the old piece, it's not lining up correctly, looks, then obviously I'm going to remove the whole thing and get a brand new one going. But I think this is the best approach. It might be the easiest approach. I think it's going to be the same amount of work, maybe even less, doing it the way I'm doing it. It'll look great in the end. It'll be one aluminum piece all welded beautifully, TIG welded, TIG, all ground smooth. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be perfect. Stay tuned. But anyways, all right. What I did was I bought online a security module or the body controller with a paired key. And now the vehicle's finally running and driving today. Thank God. You know, that thing right there, that black unit right here, that whole system is now from another vehicle. It came from a 2018 vehicle, but it's I think it's a D unit, and I think they sell G these days. And there was a G in there, that was the original. So I don't know if D's, I just noticed that a lot of 2013 cars had a D, so I don't know if that 2018 had it swapped out from a younger car, but whatever, it works. It works to the point where I can't believe how well it works. Like, I've seen people replace these modules and they say they can't get the key to work unless they just put it by the low frequency antenna just to put it in drive, but like nothing else works. I've seen people update software after it was kind of working and then now it doesn't work at all. So you know what, this one works, everything works. I'm not even updating the software. I'm not updating anything. It just works. I'm not updating the VIN. I'm not updating the software. I'm not updating anything. So if you guys get one of these and it works, why fix something that works, right? I mean, the key works fine. You can unlock the doors. You can open the trunk. You can open up the charge port. Like, you know, everything works. You can put it in drive, reverse. Why would I program this thing any further? Why would I, you know, reload any kind of software or do anything silly like that? Next time I get an update, you know, it'll, obviously the software will upload itself or reload itself to the latest version. So right now everything works. I'm not going to mess with the CAN ECU update. Not going to do any VIN learns. That doesn't make sense to me either. Why would you do that? Why would you go into VIN learn or anything like that? What's the point? It works. Everything works. I don't want to break anything. Friday, May, oh God, I don't even know, 9th, I think? I think it's the 9th, I don't know. 2025, Friday, May 9th, 2025. Update, Tesla Model S. Here we are. Oh gosh, take a good look at this thing, huh? Let's take a good look. I don't know where I left off last time, so I'm just going to be like, here we go, front end's assembled, all this works now, got the radar in, we've got, you know, everything hooked up. All that's missing is the front bumper and the sensors that go here, the 6 parking sensors. Same thing for the back, 6 parking sensors, and otherwise everything works. All the codes are cleared, everything works. Oh gosh, I don't know if I lasted the odd, probably not. It's running and driving. Yes, it is. I mean, you can't tell by looking at it right here, but it is. It's running and driving brilliantly, I may add. But here's what we've got so far. I've got this thing all in here this way. I'm going to be welding along here. So right now it's screwed in, but then I'm going to, like, you know, I have it epoxied in here. Right along here we're going to be welding, and I got great gaps going. And as you can see right here, okay, obviously we've got a lot of body work here, you know, to fill all this in, grind all this down, weld all this up, and then look at that, closes, no big deal. Look at that, just one finger, well, not even that high. Okay, let's try that again, just slightly, bam. I mean, I'm barely touching it, whatever. She is looking good. Bam, see? Click. Anyways, nice gaps. Pretty soon I'll be just kind of filling in little body work and some paint. I'll be taking these doors off soon. Both of these doors have to come back off so I can do the door jambs and the inside of the doors. Then I can throw them back on. I have to do obviously the outside, front and rear bumper with the sensors, and the vehicle will be running and driving. Yep, looking good. Yes, I have it running and driving, thank God. Update video. Anyway, here we are, a month later. Here's the vehicle. Here's what I've come up with. Yes, let's get the key. All right, let's grab the key right there. And the car will automatically present the handles now as you walk near it, because all the antennas work. Let's take a look at this quarter panel I came up with. Here it is, getting ready for primer. All grafted in correctly, as you can see. And I now have all the wheels on the vehicle. The vehicles are now, it's running and driving, so all the wheels are not only on, but all the, what do you call these, wheel well liners are in. They're perfectly in and secured correctly in all its mounting points, both sides. This is where one of the parking sensors goes, that's why that has to be there. It gets covered up with, this gets covered up with a little rubber thingamajig that just, after the bumper's on. Anyway, so, let's take a look how all this works. Let's see, I think you hit this button twice. Which one is it? Hold on. Well, there you go. Then the front opens. So we've got that working correctly with one hand. So all this stuff is in, connected, working. All that's good to go. Headlights in, working, running, driving. What else do we have? Let's see. Obviously now the handles can present, or you can lock the car. Wait, you push it once to lock it. There you go. The mirrors fold in, or push it twice to unlock it. There it is. That works. What else do we have working here? We have the trunk, right? Bam, that's working. Yay. All that's good to go. It's all cleaned out. What else? Push it again, get it to close. Alright, now the charging port. There you go, that opens. Ready to go. I think you just hold it to close it again. Oops. Close that. Sorry. Oh my God. How do you close the charging port? I think you hold it until you close. Yeah, I think you hold it down. Hold on. I'll get this straight. Hold up. I don't do this all the time. Okay, close that. And now the charging port, I think you just hold the back button down, right? Until it closes. Maybe I got this wrong. I don't know. I think you just touch it. There you go. That works better. I don't know. One of those buttons. I think to open you hold it, or you hold it twice or something. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. It's getting there. Obviously you can control all this from the inside, but I didn't want to get in. So that's the update so far. All right. Hopefully. Okay, update video. I think it's June 29th. Yep, June 29th, and I have it all painted. Well, the quarter panel at least. Yep, the color matches perfectly. Thank you from that guy in Florida who sent me this. Great price. Up here they wanted like $700 a gallon or something at Napa. And I got this from Florida, from forget the name of the place, Perpetual Paint Supply, something like that. Anyways, $240 for a gallon of paint, ready mixed, ready to spray. Absolute perfect color match. Brilliant, brilliant. Anyways, so here we are. I ended up with a clear coat run here and a clear coat run here. Obviously, I'm going to have to, you know, sand this down and buff it out. Just, 1,000 grit, basically anyways, just to make it perfect, flawless, so there's no orange peel anyways. Yeah, I hate runs, but it was so humid out that I'm surprised I only, got 2. I put 2 heavy wet coats down, and eventually about 10-15 minutes into the drying time, it did this. So, that's to be expected sometimes, especially if you don't paint all the time, so, you don't know exactly how much is too much. You don't want too little, but you don't want too much. At any rate, it's going to be brilliant at the end. It's going to look perfect. Just needs a little sanding and buffing. So that's the update for, I think it's June 29th today, Sunday. I believe it's the 29th. Maybe it's the 30th. I don't know. But it's Sunday. I think it's June 29th. And thank you for stopping by. And as always, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Enjoy. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you guys again. Bye.